sports, for his new
Yeah.
one, just sports.
Hey, hey. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to wait here about a minute or so until we get started. Uh, Quick intros to our team, as you know, Mr. Delgado and Tyler Yeager.
Hello, hello.
And I'm Chris. And this should all be recorded. We'll get to you all the information. There'll be some links and things we'll send you as well. I believe you can turn your camera on, possibly not. I thought I'd set it up that you could. There is an option to raise your hand if you have questions. There's a chat, and then we will have a Q&A at the end as well. So in the Q&A, you'll be able to ask more questions too. So don't hesitate. We want this to be usable for you. So we want, we want those questions to come out. It can be as basic or as advanced as you want. We've kind of got all levels. So, all right, we're at 9. I'm going to try to keep it within our time frame here. Again, appreciate you all attending. Like I said, this will be recorded. We'll have this available for affiliates. And what's really exciting is we've committed to do these, whether it's AI or a different topic, every month through the end of the year, and hopefully beyond. So this is a really exciting initiative for us. We want to get real tools that you guys can use to help your businesses be more efficient, be more profitable, all those things, and not just, some fluff type education. So we're excited about this one. Obviously, this is a big topic. You can't really read an article, watch anything without the topic of AI coming on. And most of the platforms that you're using are integrating it in some way. So if you're new, or if you're, using it a little bit, or you're more advanced, we're going to try to just touch on a couple different topics today, specifically in the auction space, and how affiliates and auction companies can utilize it. All right, so as we go through, we're just going to do a quick introduction. We're going to go through the actual options that are out there and try not to overwhelm anyone, and give you some really, basic starting points if that's where you're at. We're going to talk the big one, cataloging, description writing, probably the biggest use case in the auction space right now, or at least one of the most impactful, and some of the do's and don'ts in that. We're going to talk some marketing, and then we got a cool use case that whether you use that use case itself, or you just see what you can do with these AI tools within your company, I think is going to be really cool for everyone to take a peek at. So what is AI like ChatGPT? How does an LLM work? So an LLM is a large language model. It's an advanced type of artificial intelligence trained on massive amounts of text data to understand and generate human-like language. It works by predicting the most likely next word. That blows my mind. It predicts the next word or phrase in a sentence based on context, using patterns it has learned during training. This allows it to answer questions, write descriptions, summarize content, and more, all in natural conversational language. And of course, the source for that was ChatGPT, and that's an AI tool. So I would think of it as like an assistant that has an insanely good memory and the ability to get information at a snap. But it will do exactly what you tell it to do. So it's not perfect, and we'll talk about some of the hiccups that you may see. But when you, as you think about and see in the news about Amazon and all these people that buying nuclear reactors, the reason why is all that data that they're crunching to predict the next word. Like, they have to, run all those complex computations for every input that people are putting in. So it's really insane to think about all the data that they're able to do, especially when when you see it in action and how good and refined it can become. It's pretty neat. So if you're a novice, the big thing here, don't overwhelm yourself. Where do you start? There are a lot of options out there. We got ChatGPT, which is probably the most famous, most widely used right now. Claude, we got Grok, which is X, formerly known as Twitter, their LLM AI tool. Gemini, Perplexity. What I would recommend if you're new to it is start with one, and I would just say let's just start with ChatGPT and go ahead and pay the $20 a month. The reason why there's no way if you use that even 5 minutes a day, you won't get $5 or $20 of value out of it. Even if it's, making a grocery list, time is money. So I would recommend ChatGPT if you're brand new. It is very user friendly. They've got some good tools, some good indexing things, projects, and we're going to show you chat today. But if you're new, start there. If you're getting more advanced, then go out and start looking at these other ones, because some have, they're better suited for long form content. They're better suited for programmers. They're better suited for different things, but don't get overwhelmed with that. And then you'll find as well, there's different models within ChatGPT that are coming out. You hear about the next newest one, the best one. Don't worry about that either. Like use the default one as you're getting started. I think it's 4.0 in ChatGPT. Don't overwhelm yourself, because it can get overwhelming. There's a lot of information there. What AI is not, it is not scary. It doesn't have to be scary. I'm not going to talk about the scary things, but it should enhance. It's not here to replace. It can enhance. It can be an amazing assistant. It can help you think through things. It does not have to be a scary or a nebulous thing. It is becoming, it's the next internet as far as impact on the world, in my opinion. Some say even more so. And it's not something to be scared of. It's something to dip your toe in, and once you get comfortable with it, you'll kind of see some of the cool things that you can do. Now, specifically, what can we use it for in the auction space? It is really unlimited. From our end, most in our internal staff are using it on a daily basis, from ad creation, copywriting, researching assets, getting our creatives, communications, a lot of emails, daily tasks. The cool new thing coming out with these AI tools is the ability to use tasks, and is the ability to go, hey, I want you to go read these blog posts and send me a bullet point every Monday of the blog post that this author wrote last week. Like you can start setting up tasks like that, and then there's integrations to go even beyond. Don't worry about that right now. What else can you do in the auction space? You can create a training for a network of affiliates. Believe it or not, a lot of the content here is, AI assisted. And we'll talk about, some of the pitfalls there with, knowing the content and knowledge and replicating knowledge. Other things, obviously, lot description writing, proposal generation, seller pitch scripting. I've been through some trainings with John Schultz, who's president of the NAA, one of the real voices of marketing and AI in the auction space. He did a really good presentation on how he does his seller pitches, where like, here, I'm proposing this auction to this bank. Here's the scenario. This is what I'm proposing. Be the skeptic on the other side of the table and start poking holes and asking questions that are going to be tough for me to answer. So then he goes back and forth with the AI trying to answer them, refines his pitch. And, he's already taken those difficult questions or things that he may not even thought of, and gotten those out in the forefront. So really cool use case there to prep yourself. There's a lot of practice you can do. Talking with clients, talking with buyers, whatever the situation may be, you can role play. I think that's a very efficient use of AI right now. Email marketing, auction recap, report writing, SEO, the list goes on and on. There's really nothing, there's a lot we can do here in the auction space, and also on the personal side. Whether it's, for me, I'm trying to think, recently I had a plant that was dying, and I was trying to figure out, what do I need to do? So you can take a picture, upload it first. What kind of plant is it? I don't have a green thumb. I have no idea. Why is it dying? How do I fix it? Like on the personal side too. So if you're, struggling to get into this, you don't have to start, full on business wise. Definitely, start on the personal side. Hey, I have this in the refrigerator. What can I make for dinner tonight? Very good use case there on the AI side. Here's a pro tip for you that I'm going to commit to doing this next week. And I heard this on a podcast. I don't remember who the guy was, but it's really good. I'll try to share that link at the end. But he put the sticky note, can I use AI for this? And then throughout the day, how many repetitive tasks are we doing, whether if you're at a desk for 2, 4, whatever, however many hours, looking at that, can I use AI for this? And that just kind of gets you into the habit of thinking about it, because we do those daily tasks over and over and over and over again. But there may be a better way to do it, and there may be a more efficient way to do it. I think the sticky note is a really easy, simple reminder concept to kind of refocus back in and try to test some things out. And as you can see, this image was generated with AI. Obviously not perfect, because that doesn't look like the website at all. But I said, give me a picture of this sticky note with our website, the kbid.com website, and a cup of coffee, and that's what it came up with. So with AI, context is key. And it takes a little bit of practice to learn how to talk to it and how to interact with it. But it's really, really good if you give it a lot of information. The more context, the better output you're going to get. The more it's going to learn about you, it's going to learn about your business, it's going to learn about your family, your friends, whatever, however you're going to utilize it. It'll just become more and more valuable. And what you'll see, tools like ChatGPT, at first they didn't have this. They just had kind of a list of chats on the side. But now they're getting better with project folders and being able to kind of store your different chats. So you could have, hey, I'm talking about this auction proposal here. Here's my marketing folder. Here's this personal thing I'm going through. You can keep them all organized, and you can go back to it and keep adding to it. The difficulty can be is it can't always go from subject to subject. So to try to tie different things together can be difficult, but you can actually ask the AI, hey, I want to bring this topic over to another chat that I have. Can you summarize and bullet point it for me so I can continue this conversation over here? I've done that quite a bit. It doesn't get 100% of the context, but it gets a lot of it going, and you can continue with that topic. One other thing that I've found is that if you continue a conversation for too long, it will start to throttle you, and it will lag the performance on that specific chat. So at times you'll just have to close that one out. What I would do is, hey, I want to summarize the most important bullet points in this chat, and I want to start a new one, and that'll kind of restart that process, and you won't run into those issues. But you'll learn as you get in there and you start utilizing it, how important the prompts, the questions that you ask, and the context that it has is all very, very important to how valuable it can be and what it gives back to you. It's like anything else. You're going to get out of it what you put in, which to me, this is really exciting, because it feels like we're in a kind of a golden age of knowledge, and most of it's dang near free. Like, what can't you learn on YouTube right now? And now once you start getting into some of these AI tools and you start researching, there's not a lot out there that you can't find and get really specific information on. So those with the curiosity and the willingness to try, it's going to be a really cool thing for them. And it's going to change education. It's going to change the world. And it's going to be an interesting time. But I love the fact that you can go in and learn how to make pizza. You can go in and learn how to change oil on your car, you can go in and learn, like all that knowledge is out there. It's just do you want to utilize it, and how do you get there? So, well, is AI perfect? I think we all know this. No, it's not, but it is getting better pretty rapidly. So here's another image I created. This is through Sora, which is in ChatGPT. It's their image generation. You can create videos through that. So it's Sora, right, Delgado?
Yes, Sora or just
Yeah.
general images. Yep.
Yeah. So I put in, and I wanted it to be kind of funny, but I just put in, I need an image for a training that I'm doing with a room full of auctioneers. And this is what they think, and this is what AI thinks that looks like. So we all have our gavels up in the air. So if you're holding your gavel right now, just cheers that. But it can be funny at times. But it is pretty cool at the same time. So here's me in my kitchen with my two childhood heroes, Ken Griffey Jr. and Tiger Woods. Pretty good. It's not perfect, but I guess I'm bigger than both of them. That's pretty cool. And then obviously Mr. Delgado got a little creative with, you may have seen these on social media, the toys that they're putting out, so you can put in someone's picture and what they do and what they like, and then it'll spit out these prompts too. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with it. I actually at times I use it with my kids because they like to see unicorns and rainbows and mermaids, and I can create any image that I want, and it blows their mind with all of those things. I have two girls, if you didn't catch on. So a lot of cool things out there, and you see a lot of this on social media. So what are some mistakes you want to avoid? Like I said, the prompts and what we put in is very, very important. So using too generic of prompts, write a description for a table. Well, what does that really give it to work off of? We'll talk about this in descriptions as well, but pasting the output, copying and pasting the output without reviewing can get you into trouble. And I will, admit to this, it is making me lazier. I think a lot of people are seeing that, because if it's hard for me to read a news article now because I feel like I should put it into an AI tool to get bullet points so I don't have to read it all. I don't know what that says, but I think it does make at least me trying to be as efficient as I can, which isn't always a good thing. Sometimes you need to slow down and go through it, but absolutely review it, read through the whole thing, especially, in the description side, what we're putting out there is coming from us. So we got to be aware of that. And then relying on AI to replace knowledge instead of enhancing it. I think, we're going to see that kind of a lot going forward. There's going to be people that are experts in every topic, but they don't really know potentially. So, I would use it as an enhancement. It can't replace. Yes, it can put together really good content. It can put together really well thought out proposals and things like that, but it doesn't replace the actual knowledge, the hands-on knowledge of being there and doing it. And it doesn't replace humans either. I think it only enhances the human experience, to be honest, because we're seeing more and more content out there, more videos, more everything. We're inundated with it. So in a roundabout way, I think it's making the human interaction even more valuable. At least that's my hope. And at some point there, you're going to have to prove that knowledge. So yes, there is, in everything in life, there's some kind of a fake it till you make it scenario. This is going to help with that, but you still got to learn the content and then use it to enhance. All right. So here's the big one that we're going to talk about. Obviously, we spend a lot of time in the auction space writing descriptions, and AI has gotten pretty good at viewing images and creating descriptions off of that. I forget where it was, but Russ Hilk of Fram at one of the auctioneer conferences within the last 2 years, he said this quote, and it stuck with me the whole time, and I still think it's applicable. AI is going to make good auctioneer is great and bad auctioneer is dangerous. And I do think there's some truth to that. Because again, just not going back to laziness. Some do's and don'ts with description writing and using this to enhance your catalogs. Do research assets, do use it to, even when you're starting, like you don't have to jump into a full-on cataloging app that writes AI descriptions right away, but take the top 3 items, take 3 really good pictures, take the plate numbers, all those things, put it in there and ask for, I'm writing a description for this in an online auction. Give me short, succinct information that buyers would want to know. You can research those assets and you can get really in-depth information off of that. Do explore the AI apps. We're going to give you a list here of those third-party applications that are out there. There's probably more coming out daily, but there are a lot of really good ones out there right now. Do continue to take great pictures. Again, it's only going to be able to create based off of what we put into it. So if it's trying to read pictures, obviously they've got to be good, clear, showing the information that would be helpful, ID numbers, all those things that it can use to gather information and complete a full description for you. A lot of these applications as well allow you to kind of change the tone, and it allows you to include a prompt. So instead of just taking a picture of a bandsaw, you can say, this was in a working shop as of last week. And what you'll find in a lot of these AI tools, unless we tell it otherwise, it will default to the asset is in working condition. So that's okay as long as we verified that and we go back and we can adjust. But unless you are have your finger on the pulse there, you have to assume that it's going to, at least if not directly say that it's in working condition and there are no issues, indirectly indicate that there are no issues with the item. So you got to be careful with it. But a lot of them have these prompts that you can put in and state, not working, or this feature is not working, and it'll take care of that. Lastly, on the do side, verify. Again, we can't take this all, assume everything is accurate. On the don't side, you'll see that's number 1. It's very, very good, but it is not, it doesn't replace you. It doesn't replace if you have people writing descriptions for you. I don't even think it replaces necessarily that job. I think it shifts what that looks like. I think it's more of a verification after descriptions are written, because it is easy to assume that everything is good. It's easy to get into quick glances. Yes, it looks all accurate. But I know from personal experience that is not the case. You'll also see, and this can be dealt with prompts. Some of these get really, really long and really, really a lot of language that people aren't going to read anyway. They'll put flowery language in there, try to tell a story, which I think is unnecessary. And I think we all know that pictures sell images right now. I think you have a better chance of someone reading a 2-paragraph or 3 bullet point description than 3 paragraphs of information. So I think that even turns people away from reading even more when they see these long drawn out descriptions that really aren't necessary. Some items they are, some intricate equipment, assets like that. You want all that information, but if it's a dining room table, we don't need to tell a story about, in the 1900s, the family gathered around. Like you can avoid that type of thing, because I think it ultimately does the opposite of what we're trying to do, is give the buyer the information that they need, and don't turn them off from even starting to read the description. Because like I said, we are all kind of getting a little bit lazier, I think, by the day. Now, some of those tools and applications, some websites that are available right now, Lot lingo is one. Actually, someone in the KBIT affiliate community was an affiliate at one point and saw a need and has the tech knowledge to create the lot lingo application, which writes descriptions based off of images. And actually, I can't promise a date on it, but we actually recently got API information kind of started so that if anyone's used lot lingo now, the current process is you still have to download all the images, download all the descriptions, and then re-upload them into the back end of KBID. The goal of the API sync would be to get rid of that process so that you could push a button and it pushes it right to the auction. Other applications, Asset Tracks is a really good one as well, more on the industrial side, but does everything. Auction Writer is available. That one you can test through web application. And most of these will have some kind of a free trial as well. AI Cataloger, I have not used that one. AI told me about it, so check it out, see if it's any good. If it is, report back, let me know. List or Not, we've seen that one in the retail space. I think that where they were kind of built for retail returns, kind of e-commerce type assets. And then they've expanded beyond that. But I think if you're in the retail return or reverse logistics assets, that may be one that's good to look at. Shopic is a local one, someone that we've met with here as well. And there's probably a dozen more that are out there. So these are just some of the options right now that are available on the market. There is a cost to these. However, if you utilize them and you start seeing what used to take me 4 hours now is 1 hour of verification, how much is that 3 hours worth in a week, in a month, in a day? So these tools are out there and they're good, and they're getting better, but they're not perfect, as we all remember. Now, like I said, they're not perfect. Here's one. I was cataloging an auction and I had the images of, all the make, model, serial number of this water heater. And it is a 55-gallon tank, not a 110-gallon tank. So guess what happened? Buyer's not happy, refunds are made, my fault, 100%. That's a hard one to catch too, because you assume, oh, it's got the plate, it's got all the information that it would need, but it was inaccurate. And because of that, I didn't verify well enough. A refund was given, which is expected in that case. All right, I'm going to get a sip of water and let Mr. Delgado get into a little bit on the marketing topics. Pass it over to you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. We just wanted to go over a few more use cases. One of the biggest ones that I'm seeing, and hopefully he's on here. If not, he'll get the recording. But I just took an example of Mike's Auto, for instance. A lot of times people are getting kind of, I don't know if it's laziness or they just like seeing their name, but auction titles is a big one that you definitely can utilize AI for. So for this guy, he's always using Mike's Auto Auction. Every single auction looks like this is his 119th. All good. Nothing, he always does autos for the most part, so it's not hurting him necessarily. But from an SEO perspective, as well as kind of like a readability side of things from our bidders, you want to make sure that you're giving them something to, click into. And sometimes having the same thing over and over and just changing an auction number doesn't really do much. And so what I did is I punched something into AI, just said, hey, here's the auction that I have. Here's the auctions that I do. Give me a few titles that I could utilize for my auctions. And it spit out 3 auctions in a matter of like 3 seconds, or 3 titles. I mean, trucks, SUVs, and more. Bids start at 5, no reserves for that specific auction, obviously. And then he does more than just vehicles. It's got cars, campers, ATVs, and boats, dealer blowout auction. See what I'm saying? By a sales side, that gets you a little more intrigued to click versus the same thing over and over. Auto auction, auto auction, auto auction. Like me as a bidder or a first time prospective bidder or registrant, like if it's boring, it doesn't really appeal to me. Again, people want to be entertained now. Yes, in the end, they want just the bells or they want the meat and potatoes of stuff, but let's capture that click first, because if you're side by side with another auto auction and somebody else has a better title, trust me, they're going to click on that title more often than not. And then the next one, the third one that came out is big vehicle auction, Ford, Chevy, Honda, and more deals. Again, look these over. Obviously, sometimes it's legit English, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it sounds too much like a robot. But what it does is it gets you 90% of the way for the most part. And when you're doing the same auctions over and over and over, I know you get tired of potentially creating exciting titles, but that's the beauty of AI, because you can keep that chat going. And then your next one, you can just say, hey, I have another auction. Give me an 80% different auction title for this one so that I can vary my titles and give me 5 options. And it doesn't get mad at you for asking things over and over. Like if Chris kind of came to me and said, Delgado, write another one, Delgado, write another one, Delgado, write another one, trust me, to his face, I'm gonna be like, yes, sir, no problem, no big deal. But when he walks away, I'm like, damn, man, what the hell? I'm tired of writing these things. But for the most part, once you have Chat GPT, then it's like, hey, do this, do this, do this. And if you don't like it, you do it again. And it's not costing you any more for usage, to be honest, which is awesome. So definitely, I think we have some takeaways at the end here or some homework. Make sure and look at your auction titles and say, hey, this, if I want to learn to use Chat GPT, or if this is my first time using AIs, let's start with titles. Make it the easiest thing. You utilize a title in every auction. Even if you have a current one, just use it as an example to see what AI can do for you. The next one is auction details. I don't know if can I share my screen? Let me see here. This is a new platform for us folks. So everybody give me a thumbs up in the reactions if you can see my screen. All right, perfect. So right here, this is Mike. And Mike, if you're around, I love you, man. We got to get some beers or lunch soon. So I'm using you as an example. But what I'm saying here is, for example, the auction title, which was up here, you all should know that. I don't have to point it out, but right here, just take this, copy it into GPT, ask it to write me new ones. The next thing that I wanted to present was everybody has an auction profile, and this part here is becoming more and more prevalent. All of our bidders are actually checking you out. If they don't know of you, a lot of people are clicking on these profiles. So do something in GPT or AI, whatever you use, and say, hey, tell it about you, tell it about what you do, tell it what you want it to perform for you on this page, and then see what the result is. So honestly, for me, I opened up my GPT and I went in, I used Mike's as an example. I said, hey, can you look into my website? I provided it a URL, and then it took a description off of the website page. If you don't have a website, you just give it yourself your own blurb that you should know off the top of your head. You should know about your company. Give it your 30-second elevator speech. Type it in a prompt, and then say, please provide me, an output to help people learn about me, as well as make it salesy and let people know that we are the best place to buy used cars directly through auctions. And that's literally what my prompt is. And then it starts spitting stuff out like this in a matter of seconds. It didn't use my name correctly. This might have been a past owner of his location, because he did buy a new location. And I said, hey, change everything out. Please change Jeff Chan to Mike's Auto. And then I read it over. Everything else is the way it should be. Copy and paste. And then I can put it right there inside my affiliate profile. So if you don't have this filled out for your auction profile or for your business profile on KBID, another example, utilize this and use it right away. Again, ChatGPT is free up to a certain extent, but you, for doing titles and description and then auction details, you should definitely have no problem in the free version and get to use it, try it out, and just understand that you can't break nothing. So right there's 2 use cases that are very, very important. And the next one here that I wanted to point out was the detail side, like this auction detail. Now you don't have to get bored with A, not putting anything, or B, changing something up. This section here is on the back end as well. It should be filled out for every single auction. And why that matters is because SEO is still a game changer. The better SEO we have as a page and a URL, not just a company, then the better we'll perform in the search engines. Now, I know you'll hear a lot of the times AI might be or SEO, AI is kind of killing it. Well, it's not, because AI is still pulling from all the search engines to get you the information you're looking for. It's just getting that information to you that much faster. So it is important to be as thorough as possible. And the beauty of AI is it gets you that thoroughness right away. So you don't have to do it. You plug it in here on your details side. Again, you keep that same chat and just say, I got a new auction. This one's in a different location. Here's a couple different items. Recreate me an auction details blurb. Boom, punch it in. Create me the title off that same blurb. Boom, punch it in. You're good to go. So the biggest thing for me is you have use cases to utilize it. So I want to make sure that everybody is using it. Once I unshared screen, I don't know where the presentation went. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right. All right, perfect. There we go. It went back. But for the most part, that's it from the marketing side. I just wanted to go over 2 use cases on how auctioneers should be using it, and business owners. From our end, from the marketing side, like Chris mentioned, we're using it a ton. 80% of our work activity now at least has something to do with AI. And I do have a posting note basically that says, can AI do this first? Or I reference something that says, before I even think about it, I say, can AI do this? Or can I brainstorm with AI about this? And then we move forward from there. So that's kind of it from the marketing side. We have plenty of use cases that we can maybe talk over during questions and answers, but just wanted to give two easy case scenarios to utilize AI right now. It will only better your auctions, and it will also better our site.
Perfect. Thank you, Delgado. And as a reminder, that affiliate profile page, you just log into your affiliate account, you go to the account tab, and then there's an affiliate properties button there that allows you to fill that out. So if you haven't filled that out, do that today. If you're looking, I mean, even if you're not looking for consignments, that's the big push, is a seller looking at affiliates and why would I sell with this person? Who are they? What do they do? Even if you're just selling your own inventory and you're not in that space, fill it out. Provide more information on you and your company. Use AI preferably as a good practice point, or just put something in there to start with and then fill it out over time, because that really is important, and it's going to become even more so. I think we're gonna enhance that page, almost make it like a mini landing page for you, and continue to build off of that, so you could send prospective buyers or sellers there to get a hold of you, and to learn more about your services. All right, let's get into ChatGPT directly. Let's do an exercise. So I have created a custom GPT, which is, how do you explain a GPT? It's a prompt. It's kind of a dedicated area that I've set up the parameters of what it should do. So the cool thing about this is, if you sign up for the premium, the $20 a month ChatGPT version, and we share this link with you, you can actually use it. So what I've created is just a proposal writer for affiliates to utilize. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Give me a thumbs up if you can see everything's good. Perfect. So this is the KBID affiliate auction proposal writer. I help KBID.com affiliates book deals by generating professional auction proposals. So here's my pre-worked content. I'm going to cut that for right now. And you can just start here. There's 4 options. Create a proposal for an estate liquidation. Need a business liquidation proposal. Help me write a proposal for government surplus. Generate a proposal for a collector's auction. You could riff off of that for different asset classes as well. That's just a starting point. So I'm going to go here. All right, and it's going to ask me some information. Who is it? Who are you? How do I contact you? What's the situation? So in this estate, is it an individual seller? Is it a family, attorney? Are they moving? What's the situation? Information on the assets that are being auctioned. Estimated timeline, urgency is always important. Like how soon does this need to be done? And then any specific concerns. So if they've talked about, can it be done in the time frame? Are they concerned about pricing on a specific asset? Are they concerned about how you're going to market this? Any of those concerns, I would put those in there. And then geographic market location. So it's asking me exactly what to put in. And I've got this prompt. I'm doing an estate moving liquidation for Jack and Jill Smith. They are moving at the end of September. I would like the auction completed by the end of August. They're in Lino Lakes, Minnesota, and the estate. See, the good news, good thing about AI for me is you can spell wrong all the time, and it just learns like most 60% of my words are just going to be spelled wrong because I'm going too fast. The estate consists of all contents of a 5-bed, 3-bath house, including his prized collection of beer signs, lawnmowers, some artwork, and a camper. They have concerns about the beer signs reaching the right type of buyers and maximizing value. My name is Chris Schwartz with XYZ Auctions based in Medina, Minnesota, and I've been affiliated with KBID for 7 years. And after 15 years, I still can't spell the word affiliate, which is funny. Let's try that and see what we get out. If this is your first time kind of seeing this in real time, enjoy.
Yeah.
You get kind of numb to how cool and how fast this is, but we'll go through it in total here at the end. And the cool part too is once this is, spitting out the first version, you can go say, hey, change this in this paragraph. I don't like how we said this. I want to draw more attention to this. I want to talk more about whatever you want to enhance in it, and go from there. And we made this in a way that you can copy and paste it into a Word doc, into a Google Doc. You can add your logo up top. And you could take this whole thing, you could create it in your own GPT, and you could start making that for each one of your sales calls or proposals that you're going to write. So as we go up top, just information about me. Thank you for the opportunity to assist with your upcoming estate and moving sale at XYZ Auctions. We specialize in helping families like yours transition smoothly by converting personal property into cash through professionally managed online auctions. We don't have to read through everything, but it did personalize it here. Our team will handle all aspects of the auction process, ensuring that your items, especially Jack's prize beer sign collection, are showcased to the right audience for maximum return. Why choose XYZ Auctions and KBID.com? Over 500,000 registered bidders. That feels good to say, right? No longer 4,998. Good job, everyone. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Let's go. Over 1 million monthly buyer visits, 4,500 auctions, national exposure with targeted marketing niche collections, local experienced team providing full on-site services. It talks about what you do and what that process looks like. It talks about time frame, and again, you can customize that. If you can't start for, until this specific date, you can add that in there, and you can shorten the time frame. You can lengthen the time frame. We kind of left. Well, I did put a commission rate in here. I didn't talk about any time of a commission. You can put in any rates, any fees, anything you want to on the fee structure. I tried to keep that pretty nebulous because everyone has different ways of charging, but you can adjust that. And then why this auction will exceed. We're going to strategically market it to collectors. The buyer base ensures competitive bidding. Local buyers find great value in these items. These assets are, they wanted and needed. And then next steps for them, just a little call to action. So yeah, this isn't, it's not the most, there's not a ton of information here, but it's very professional. It's something that you can spit out, as you saw, in a matter of less than a minute, 30 seconds. Obviously, again, go back, review it, make sure, don't just take it for granted. It could say something that you don't want it to say. And then importantly, at the end, there's a call to action there with everything, every meeting that you have, every proposal that you send, don't leave it open-ended, but end it with a call to action. But you can see how this type of, and we'll share this link with you. So if you do sign up for chat, feel free to use it. If you want to create your own like this, absolutely. And how would you do that? You can just ask ChatGPT. Like, I want to set this up. I saw KBID put on this seminar and they showed us how to create a sales proposal. I want to do that for myself and my company. How do I do it? It'll tell you. It'll start off with, step one and go from there. So we will share this link with you. You can adjust it any way you want. You can as easily as this, copy all this, and then put it onto your Word doc and go from there. You can put that into an email. A lot of emails that I'm drafting are, AI enhanced. And, I don't always, I try not to make it look like AI. You'll see that, and you can prompt it as well. Like AI tends to bullet point, it tends to put emojis in, it tends to bold this, that, and everything else, which to me, it's not really my style. So I try to remove that in a lot of things. But you can, even in your overall like profile in ChatGPT, you could say, I never want to use emojis, never show me an emoji, and it won't. So you can customize it to, kind of your style and what you like to do. All right.
Yeah, and Chris, I just want to add to that.
Mhm.
Folks, the beauty of this is don't think it doesn't work because it's not complicated. They take the complications out of stuff. So this can get you, again, 80-90% of the way. Copy and paste over to a Word doc. Take out what you want and keep what you want. Change things up where you want, and then get it sent out. Because a lot of the times the paperwork, the gathering of data, all the information, you're like, I got to put this in a specific way in order for it to look professional. Now you can kind of create that once, utilize GPT in the same conversation. And once you get the proper form, you can actually bring in the document that you want it to spit out exactly the same way, putting information in the way you want every single way moving forward. So there is a little iteration in the beginning, but the best part is it makes it very, very simple. And again, don't think that it doesn't work because it is simple. It's built to be simple, so it takes the complexity out of stuff you're trying to do. So again, definitely utilize it any which way you can. Get in there, play with it. Things don't always work the first time, but again, the thing is once you prompt it once, it starts learning a history of how you want things, and then it will be better as it goes. It'll basically be your pet, and it will listen to what you say, and it will do what you ask. So it's pretty
Mhm.
sweet. So again, I just want to reiterate: don't think that because it's not hard, it's not good. It is very, very, very good because it's not hard.
Mhm. And I would, to piggyback on that too, even now, this has been out for a while. You're not behind. There's people that will never touch it. You're not behind today. So if you feel like, oh, I missed the boat on all these tools and AI, that's not true. We're still at the very beginning of this, and the sooner that you start just playing around with it, I think you'll find that you'll just organically start utilizing it more. But don't. I know sometimes you can feel like you're so far behind the curve that it's not even worth messing with it. You're not. Just start something now. All right. So now, if we have any, I'd love to dive into any Q&A, some questions that anyone has on AI usage. If you have any examples of, what, if you're using it now, I'd love to hear about that as well. If you have anything, you can raise your hand. I can actually turn on your microphone for you. We'd love to hear you.
Yeah, have them raise hands so that not everyone gets unmuted at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah, so we got a chat from Janice. I love how you can tell it for the titles to use only a certain amount of characters. Yes, absolutely. 246. Love it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, good point. Good point. I forgot to mention that, but yes.
All right, got some hands up. I'm gonna North
So Janice.
Country. Can I unmute? Got three. I'm trying to unmute someone. We got a question from Auction Studios. All right, this is my first webinar in Teams, so we're working out a little bit of the kinks. I love it so far, but for some reason I'm unable to unmute. So if you could chat your questions, sorry for right now, just for that sake. But Kirsten at Auction Studios, are you able to write an auction overview? Absolutely. You know what you could do? You could go to the lot list. You could copy and paste all the assets in the, everything in there from the title. The title is really all you need. And the category, you could say, here's the auction I'm doing in Medina, Minnesota. Give me an overview. that's 4 sentences long at max, that would drive interest to this auction. And it would look at all those assets and it would do an amazing job.
Yep. And to add to that is what I do for some of the description examples is I actually open up my lot list. I actually take a picture of the exact screen, punch it in there, and then say, write me a description of the auction, include 3 of these items in there. So absolutely you can.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. I got Whiteford, John, and Jonathan at North Country that have questions, but I can't unmute you. So if you guys could chat those, that would be awesome.
Am I unmuted?
Yes. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I just unmuted myself.
Oh, perfect.
I had specific admin privileges here you didn't know about.
Oh, geez. We'll have to look into that. Jeff Whiteford, what do you got for us?
No, I just think this is awesome. I mean, I've been wanting to kind of get involved in it. You know, of course, I'm just so busy, and like I was listening to the presentation, but I just popped in a couple of things from my profile, hit create on the Chat GPT to make it more concise. Because I know I'm a very wordy person, so and people don't want to read all the crap. They just want to know the very specific details,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't even read the crap when you have that much. So it really, I mean, I was blown away by like the thing I put at the bottom of my details page, which is, you know, basically 3 chapters in a preface, but it summed it up in just like 10 bullet points,
Mm-hmm.
8, and it was just really awesome. So even if you haven't used this yet, whoever's listening, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe you say, well, I just can't figure it. Just type in Chat GBT and say rewrite, and then type in what you want to rewrite, and it's that easy. It literally is that. And like they were saying today, that will get you going to like, oh my goodness, this is awesome, and it really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't done the AI picture description thing, which I'm hoping that's as easy to figure out as this other stuff. But I really appreciate what you guys put together. It's awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for sharing, Jeff.
All right. I think John Tofty, I think you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you know, you mentioned the different apps that are available, such as like Lot Lingo and Auction Writer and the other ones. But if somebody doesn't want to get into it at that level,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you mentioned, Chat GPT, there are other options too. Besides Chat GPT that people can look into. Elon Musk, for example, grok.com, grok.com. Another one, Google has a chat bot too, gemini.google.com. So, and if you just type into Google or even one of these chat bots, you know, what are some other examples, you can probably get answers back. So don't feel like you just have to get pigeonholed into Chat GPT. There are more options, and there's going to be many more options going forward too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Jonathan, yeah, go ahead.
So to me, the longest work, other than taking pictures, the longest time frame spent is with doing the descriptions, and I would love to utilize something that would shorten that. However, I'm having a hard time picturing it, practically speaking. For instance, I do coin auctions, baseball card auctions, and estate sales primarily. Well, when I'm doing an estate sale, I don't add typically a ton of detail. I put the title, and then unless it's measurements or a model number, I don't really add to that. I let people look at the pictures and make their decision based on that, or unless this is in excellent condition. Well, none of those things, model numbers, excellent condition, or measurements, are going to be derived by AI. So I'm having a hard time seeing that for an estate sale. And then with coins, obviously it's very specific, and I'm having a hard time picturing AI for that, or for baseball cards either. And so I'm just wondering if I'm missing something, or if this really doesn't add a whole lot to my current business model for a description specifically.
No, I think it does. I think yeah, for some of the general estate type items that don't require a ton of information, like I said, you can still prompt it to like leave it at 2 sentences, but at least it's going further than, well, here's a table, here are the dimensions. Like, I think that's a professional touch. I think that's something that, okay, maybe it doesn't have an impact with the buyers necessarily because they can see the table and now all they really care about is the dimensions. But what does the seller think? I think there's something to that. Uh, let's see. Coins, I think that could be, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a specific app for coins already that I just don't know about. That could be, very honed in on detail on, different dates and mints and all those things. If anyone wants to see, actually have lot lingo pulled up and we got 6 minutes left. I might just show you how one might work. 1 second here. Let me see if I can upload a photo. And again, there's a number of different tools out there that you can use. Lot lingo is just one that we're very familiar with. So let me see if I can share my screen here. All right, here's the UI for Lot Lingo. Yeah, it's just lotlingo.com. What I did is I'm not going to give you a complete overview on how the system works, but I created a lot. I uploaded some pictures of a Sean Kemp jersey, and I'm going to write a description. And since they were an affiliate, they knew the kind of the pain point of assigning categories, and they built that all in as well. So that's already done. And I think Auction Studios verifies or is giving kudos to Lot Lingo. Had a wool coat with a rip in the lining. AI caught the damage and remarked on it. Nice. So here's one. It does bullet point. This is easy to read. So yeah, it's more information, but this is better than just XL Sean Kemp jersey, in my opinion. There's a signature official Seattle Supersonics jersey certification sticker provided. So how, this may only take me 45 seconds to write, but at that formatting would just piss me off because it would take too much time. And 45 seconds times 300, that adds up, right? And then here you see it's mapped the category to sporting goods and memorabilia and done. So like I said, right now, the process is I would upload my pictures here. They have a UI that you can actually take pictures there in the application. Then I would download the spreadsheet and then upload it into KBit. But like I said, the API tools we're rolling out, so that would remove that step and you'd be able to go straight to the KBit platform there. So that's just it in real time. You could do the same thing in ChatGPT directly. You could upload these pictures and say, hey, I just want an auction description. You'd have to do it one by one. This is formatted in a way that you can do them in mass and create those 200, 300 at a time.
And just to clarify, with this one that you just showed us, you didn't type anything. You just uploaded pictures and it gave you that
description?
I didn't
type anything. Yep, I didn't type a thing.
Okay.
I believe their additional info, like, okay, this is a smoking house. I think the additional info would be where I'd want to include a prompt like that. And I'm not sure if they have that on like the auction level where you could state, this was a whatever, if that needs to be across all. But yeah, you could put in, I'm not 100% sure. You could do a demo with them. Like if I put in information in the description here, would it utilize that and the images, or if it just uses the additional info? I'm not sure, but I know that there's an ability to put in prompts. Solly, how does Lot Lingo know what photos are assigned to each lot? You'd have to assign them. You can either take photos in the application in each lot, which they have, or you could upload them using the barcode method and upload them in here and they would be assigned. So there's still that process of getting them into the lots that you want. Okay, so there's some from auctions. If you have more of the identification you put into the additional information, hit the wand symbol and it will rewrite it with that info. Perfect. Love it. I love it. This is all really good questions. This has been fun. I'm loving this. I'm really glad we're starting this and getting more of this content out. Are there any more questions, any more use cases you guys want to go through? Otherwise, I'll start wrapping up and we'll be on time. How much does it cost to use Lot Lingo? I don't know. I think
It
it's
varies on usage. Yeah. I actually,
200,
let me,
200 bucks a month is what
okay, great.
Kirsten. I think they may have adjusted from usage to flat fee.
Gotcha.
So it depends on your volume, how much you're doing, and how much could you do? That's the other thing. How much more could you do if you didn't have to spend 4 hours writing descriptions? Could you be doing more, seller activities to, get more auctions booked? All right, guys. Anything else? We got 1 minute. We're gonna wrap it up.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions about Auction Writer, they can contact me, John Tofty. I can talk to him about it.
Oh, you've used that one too? Cool.
Yeah, I've been using that currently, and right now that's my preferred one.
Nice.
Yeah, and Chris, I just put Lot Lingo, their landing page where they want all K bidders to go to. Just mention you're on
Okay.
K bid, and they'll give you a priority, service more or less. But there's the Lot Lingo / Auctioneers page. Feel free to jump on there, take a demo of it. They even give K bidders a few credits to browse around with, and then yeah, definitely get in there and play around, see if it's for you.
Awesome. All right, guys. So in conclusion, just get started. I mean, if you just need one question, how can you help my business? It'll go from there. It'll ask, you can do follow-up questions off of that. We want to give you a little bit of homework. Get one tool and pay for it. Pay the 20 bucks a month. You can quit it after 3 months, but dedicate $60 to this. I guarantee you, if you spend the 5 minutes a day, you will get value out of it well over $20. Put that sticky note on your desk as a reminder. Again, we go back to the day-to-day, those tasks that we do over and over and over again. And you'd be surprised how much time you can save. And here's another good one off of what Delgado said with your affiliate profile. Absolutely go do that. But take a look at, all the new auction details tabs, your terms, your shipping, your removal, the payment information. All that should be congruent. It should look alike. It should feel alike. It should be written the same way. You can take what the information that you have there, run it through, and get a standard, well-written, concise information that's just going to look better. And it looks, everything that we put out there is really a sales presentation of what we are. So if this is sloppy, someone might assume that's sloppy. So that just little things like that can really, really help. Awesome. In conclusion, thank you guys. We really appreciate you attending. This has been fun.
Let's get some claps. Hey, fellow people,
Yeah.
get some reactions there. Let's see, is this worth it? You want to do it again next month? Might be on a different topic or vertical, but we definitely want to keep the trainings coming. So if we don't hear the enthusiasm or feel the enthusiasm, we might change our mind. Come on now.
Oh, we're doing next
there we
month. I
go.
don't have the topic yet, but it's going to be good. I can guarantee you that.
Very nice. I like it. We got claps.
I'm
We got hearts.
planning
We
the
did
last Friday of the month, 9 a.m. We will, again, this will be videoed. This will be available. If you have ideas of topics that you want to get into, maybe you eventually, want to be a part of one of these as well, and you have knowledge that you want to give out to affiliates, we'd love to have that. I'm really excited for where this is going to go, and what we can get out to you guys, and using your knowledge as well, because you guys are out there in the field. You all have specific skills, and there's a lot of benefit to that. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate you. The presentation we will have available. We'll leave it in the prompt on the KBID site for affiliates. We'll just link that link. We'll leave that up over the weekend, and you can find the video there. All right. Take care, all.
Thank you.
See ya.
So all that should be done, and we need for seller signature and driver's license on the page.